Yo, what up, guys? Beside me here with a champion guide for Lanakis, the Chosen, a legendary champion from the Dark Elves faction who we can find right here, who is kind of being forgotten slowly in the raid community because her A2 skill, which is best known for of all her abilities, this is what she's known for: teaming up with 3 random allies to attack a single enemy. That's an ally attack, but since it's only 3 allies, while we have champions in raid shadowlands like Longbeard or Fahrakin the Fat who can do similar things, even increasing the damage that those allies do before they can even go in for that hit. So that's why she's kind of being left behind, because there are options. Now, if you do not have Fahrakin the Fat, if you do not have Longbeard, you most likely need Lanakis. Even if you have them being used in content, there might be a place where you can use her. Why? Because she does have the ability to also have increased crit rate and increased attack buff on allies for 2 turns. Now, when she does that, she doesn't just go in with the A2. There's a 25% chance, which is a very low chance. You can book it up to a 50% chance of granting an extra turn. So that's still very risky for you to start battle with this A3. You always want to start the battle with this A2 on this champion. Don't rely on this A3 to grant you an extra turn. All right. Right here on the A1, she has a continuous heal buff on herself for 1 turn, with the condition that if you will have a crit. So if you hit with a crit, you have that continuous heal on yourself. That's a very the only reason why you want crit on this champion, and that's not enough reason. I'll show you how I built her. 3 skills on the champion. She's very old in raid, so I guess she deserves a buff, else nobody will still be using this champion. I'll still show you where you can use her in the end game though, and where I use her right now on my account, because she's not entirely useless, but she's not your first priority as an ally attack champion. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, if I head over to my game right here, she has a few skills that only her A1 actually hits, her A2 and A3 does not hit. This makes her a perfect candidate for the set where I put her in. You find her right here in my team, and I've had her for a long time, and because I had other options, I never used that. The only reason why I decided to use this champion recently was because of the Fire Knight hard mode that requires an ally attack champion that also had a little bit of increased attacks and boosting of turn meter and all that. So I guess I didn't mention that part. Yes, but she doesn't just add increased crit rate and increased attack right here. She also has 25% chance of, where is it, the ally, where is it? The allies joining attack will use the default skills, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. That's what I'm trying to look for right here. That's something that Fahrakin the Fat does not have. That's something that Longbeard does not have. Turn meter filling. So this is more of a PvE type of thing where you want to fill your turn meter by 30% and go first, or something that can also benefit you from PvE right here. So that's what how I built her. Increase the duration of all ally buffs by another 1 turn. Also another skill that might be useful in PvE content, like the faction where I'm using her. She's also known for being used in the Hydra, because buffs are important right here, especially increasing their duration right here. Increased attack, increased crit rate is important right here. Doesn't bring increased crit damage though, so it's all good. Only increased crit rate and increased attack. All right, that's it. A1 is the only skill that is doing damage. That means I'm not going to be building this champion for damage. You can see me not even spending more books on this A1 because I'm not expecting any damage from this champion. Now, Longbeard or Fahrakin, of whom I put some damage into them, when Fahrakin doesn't join the attack, she joins the attack with that ally attack. So if you want, you can, but since our A2 and A3 doesn't have any damage, that's why I'm not going to be building this champion with 100% crit rate. If you do build that with 100% crit rate, you might sacrifice your speed. You can see right here, this champion does not have any need for accuracy, which is a good thing always in raid, where you see a champion that does not need one particular stats that you might want to put on them. That means you can squeeze in other stats. So what do I replace with in this champion for accuracy? I replace speed, because I built her for PvE content where I don't just want her to use the all ally join attack once. I want her to roll back to it very fast and do it again and again and again as soon as possible. So the best set for a champion like that is either relentless set or this reflex set, right? Those are the 2 ways you want for a champion who you want to use a particular skill again and again. And that means in some battles you might want to turn off this A3 altogether. Don't let her use that at all. Your champions have 100% crit rate. They have increased attack, or they don't need increased attack. She just relies on this A2 only, and that is where this reflex set will come in. If you do not know what reflex set does in raid shadowlands, it has a 40% chance to reduce the the random cooldown of a skill. In this case, the skill is not random, it is only this skill that it will reduce the cooldown. So that means this ally attack will be used a lot in battle. We'll test it out for some content for you to see, but that's the reason why I put reflex set on her. Useful in the Hydra, useful in the Fire Knight hard mode that I built her for, or useful everywhere else that you can use. For early game sets, I always recommend you go with triple speed. Like I said, the champion's best thing to do for her is to go first speed, so you can just kill the opponents first before they get any ideas. So triple speed sets right here, you cannot go wrong with a speed set for this champion. That's always the beginner recommendations. Since this champion does not need accuracy, perception will not be an early game recommendation for this champion at all. So if you guys have any other sets, or if you for some reason you're building her with crit rate and crit damage, I wonder why. Let me know how you built yours, but I wouldn't recommend that on this champion at all. Any set that will make her go first or take repeated turns. Now I might see some people building her with something like a stone skin, right? I've seen some champions like that. Any person that has ally attack, they put the champion in a stone skin, because that's the condition that you have to win your opponent, right? So stone skin right here will protect her until she eventually gets her turn, so everybody can join the attack and kill the enemy. That's for PvP content, arena content. That's where you see some people putting her in the stone skin, so nothing happens to her. She stays safe until she gets her turn and uses that A2. Then the battle is over for your opponents, especially if you bring in champions who do AoE damage on their A1s. Yes, all allies joining the attack will use their A1s. Now if it's content like the Hydra, where there are 5 allies, she'll only bring 3 to attack with her. 2 will just be standing by the roadside. So that's something to note right here. She will not bring in everybody. I think some content also have 4 5 champions. No, Hydra is 6 champions. She will bring in 3, leaving 2 by the side, while Arena should bring in 3. So for these champions, some of the stats I put on her, let's see. Speed. Like I said, speed is what I'm looking for. That's why I went this way. I'm not looking for high resistance, but I was able to get it because this resistance banner did have high speed. But this is also useful for content like the Hydra, where you don't want your buffs to be stolen, especially if you allow her use that increase attack or increase crit rate buff. But if you turn that off, maybe resistance is not needed, but or you have a tank that is soaking up that head that might try to steal your buffs. HP right here, no crit damage for once on this amulet. Also no crit damage over here. HP defense, yes, defense on this side and defense on this side. So I was trying to make this champion survive, because yes, in content like the Fire Knight, yes, Fire Knight hard mode, if the boss does eventually get a turn, she's one of the champions that can survive. Not everybody just goes down. So that's my stats right here. For a total stats, I'm looking at about 63k HP, which is good, and over 3k defense, which is also good for PvP content. Of course, you can always add in that little bit of stats that you're getting from the particular content that you're trying to beat. Let's say the Hydra battles, I'm just adding a little bit of speed right here. So that's it. Speed. Normally we build champions like this in this high amount of speed when we're building them for the arena, but arena is not only the reason to build a champion with high speed. So that's something to know right there. That's why I'm going above 290 speed, and this was possible because I was not adding crit rate, I was not adding crit damage, I was not adding accuracy. So when I'm not adding attack, I'm not adding all these stats, I just focused on speed. Triple roll of speed, double roll of speed, and that's how I was able to get to this amount. If you get that to 250 as a mid-game to end-game player, you're fine. For the early game, 200 speed is going to be fine for a champion like this. Alright, so no crit rate, so that A1 will not be adding any heal to her. Why did I not have crit rate to her so she can get that heal on herself on that A1? It's because I might have somebody else in my team doing the heal. Or for PvP, it's not going to be a battle that lasts long enough to her to even benefit from that A1 heal. So that's it. No crit damage, of course, and resistance, like I said, only for Hydra or Fire Knight content. And then accuracy is not needed at all on this champion, but this just came from the artifact sets. So that's my stats right there on this champion. Let me know which bet sets are you using on your Fahrakin, on your Lanakis, the chosen. And like I said, this champion does need a buff on raid, because people will still be preferring Fahrakin the Fat and Longbeard over her for the role of an ally attack champion in raid. This champion is also very viable in the early game of the Demon Lord but this skill will mess you up, so you might not want her to use this. Especially if you're in a speed tune team, you don't want her to use this and granting herself an extra turn when the demon lord will be, her boss will be running up and all that stuff. So speed tune would not use her A3, but Hydra or other content, depending how much you want your reflex set to work on her, you might want to turn off that A3. Let's just do some sample battle tests for Doom Tower and show you a sample run of how she can help your team do damage. Let me just go to the first floor of Doom Tower and do a sample battle. And let me just bring in damage. So even if it's not all AoE damage, you can just see her being the main champion to help you. Where is my... There she is. And then I can add in a little bit of AoE damage right here. AoE damage right there, and single target damage. I just want to see what she does for your team. This is not an ideal team. All right, single speed. If you put it on auto, like I said, I think she's gonna start the battle with her A3. But let's see, what does she do? See, that's what I'm saying. She started with the battle with her A3, so that's why you want to turn it off. And she did not get an extra turn this time around, and we are all standing here waiting for her to get around to her turn again and make us do our ally attack. But she might be faster than the enemy, because remember, this champion is 300 speed. So we're waiting for her to get a turn. Come on, don't kill them yet. Yes, finally she came around to her turn. So that A3 might not always grant you an extra turn. It's a very low chance, even if I have it fully booked. Now this is what she does for you. This is what you should start the battle with. This is her A2. Go in here, and whatever she points is dead, or anything that is along with them if you bring in AoE champions along. So that skill has gone on cooldown right now, but because I put her in what? Reflex set. You saw what just happened right now? She decreased the cooldown of one of her skills. I think that A3 reflex set did proc, and it decreased the cooldown of the wrong skill. Let me just run this second wave, see how it goes. If she gets around to her skill, see, they are available again. She has decreased the cooldown of one of her skills. I'm not gonna go ahead and use this A3 this time around. Just go in with the A2 and see what happens. She turn meter first before they are all going in with that hit. I don't have enough damage on my AoE champions, but that's Lanakis the Chosen. That's what she does for your team. If it was Fahrakin the Fat or Longbeard, I'm sure everybody here will melt because of the buff they add to your allies before they're going for that big hit. All right, now for the content where some people might be using her in the early game, is gonna be the arena, because every champion who is fast enough to do ally attack is right in the arena. So let me test her against content like this. I've put together this team. Yes, she can work in the go first team, or she can also work in a go second team. Let's test the go first team out first before we go try the go second team and see which one we can win the battle against. Yeah, this is the go first team. Let me take it off auto. Now I'm not using all allied join attacks over here, right? Even if I know I'll go first, it's not always you want to use Skull Crown and Senesha combo. Sometimes you actually want to use your actual team and just take out one person. The main threat in the team is going to be who? Melt that person with that A1. Sometimes that's all you need, and slowly kill the enemy, especially the fact that I have a champion who has neutralized the enemy's ability to revive, or I bring in a leader right here to make sure they don't revive. So now I can slowly take them down, and slowly but surely. So that's not the best way to use all ally join attacks or ally attackers in general, but you want to pair them with blender comp. So in the second team, I'll test out a blender comp for you. But are we even seeing the value of Lanakis in this team? There she is. And she did get all the extra turn this time around. She put the buff, get the 25% extra turn, and then she went in. She decreased the cooldown of her skill again. So reflex set is amazing on this champion. So she can sometimes use it 2 times in battle before it ends. Especially against bosses, you're going to benefit from a reflex set on this champion. Now let me go against a go second team. A team that I know will go first and probably nuke me down. So let me see if I can put together a team like this. So I'm sure that I should be killed in this team, right? Lanakis is my only choice of damage, or making sure these champions do damage, I mean. So I'm going slow. kill us, please. So we are hoping to be reviving and then going in and doing big hits on them. Make sure this fear falls off. We have decrease. Kill. Yes. So now that everybody is dead, we can now bring them back to life and cause mayhem. So I'm not going to buff with this A3. Like I said, we're going in straight with this A2. And let me just go for the Arbiter so she doesn't do any reviving. She survived it? Damn. My skull, crown, and others need to be rebuilt better. She survived it. But that's what Lanakis the Chosen is supposed to do for you. Supposed to just make sure that whatever you point dies. And we might still lose this battle. We came back to life. My main damage is gone. Buff. Is this going to help me in any way? A1. Not enough damage. She did place that continuous heal with the crit rate though. Let me go faster a little bit. Yes. So there's hope? No hope. No hope. But that's what you're supposed to do. I just wanted to test that battle out. A go second team in my walk, but you have to put her in the right team. I just slot her in right here. But I'll probably use her most likely in a go first team. In a blender comp, I'll go with my Longbeard. I'll go with my Fahrakin the Fat. She's not my best choice for a blender comp because that boosts my crit rate, boosts my crit damage, so everything is supposed to melt. This time around, she did not melt everything for me. So that's my champion guide for Lanakis the Chosen. This champion needs a buff for her to be viable in raid content again. But I'm going to show you where I use her, the last place I use her, well, 2 more places I use her. I'm not going to run the battle, I'll just show you that she's actually in my teams in the Hydra. Yes, this is not my best Hydra team, but I can show you my team 1, team 2, team 3. So you see that team right here at the bottom? This is my team 1 that I use for this level of the Hydra. The normal Hydra, a team that I don't care about, right? 6 million damage is easy to obtain at endgame, right? 6.6 million. So that's where I put her. She's not in my hard team or in my brutal team at all. So I just put her in right here to help me do ally attacks and join and do some damage. That's why she's in there. So yes, it's a team. I think I've put in my damage today. This week, if I scroll down, you see her right there. There she is. 1 million damage, while everybody else is the main MVP. She's just there to help them along a little bit. So it's a champion that is not entirely useless, I guess. If I build her up more, she might be useful somewhere in the hard or brutal, but I don't need her in that content. I do have options, but I just wanted to show you that she's viable in that content and also in the Demon Lord as long as you turn off that A3. Another content where she's helping me in the end game, besides just beginner early game content, is in the Fire Knight Castle. I already have a dedicated video out there showing you how I beat up to hard 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is not that consistent, so I'm sticking to 4 and farming 4 at this level. And there she is. She's one of the champions that is coming in right here, helping this team do consistent damage and keep this boss meter down. Once I hit and take it down, it stays down. So I could bring in Longbeard right here, but I didn't bring in Longbeard is because she has that A3. So if I go to my, what do you call this thing now? Team setup, team presets for against the boss, Lanakis the Chosen, I turned off the A3. Why? Because I want that reflex set to always make me use my A2 over and over and over again. Because I have Yakal, the Scourge, and Gori who will help me keep the turn meter of the boss down with their freeze on their skills, right? So that's what she's there for. Reflex set, helping me make this possible. Lanakis the Chosen is very, very useful in endgame content like this. So that's why I just wanted to give you a fair guide about her. You will not be that crazy if you obtain her. If you just pulled her from shard, she's not that amazing that you're like, oh wow, because you're thinking, oh, Fahrakin the Fat, oh, Longbeard. But there's still some use case for her, as you can see right here. All right, let me know how you use this champion besides this way I've shown. Am I not utilizing her properly? What other builds would you recommend on her besides just reflex sets? Right here in the comments, let me know, guys, so I can also learn from you guys. This is how I use her for now, and I'm hoping to improve this build later or find some other content where she can be more viable, or wait until one day she gets buffed. Right? All right, guys, let me know what you think about Lanakis the Chosen. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid Shadowlands content, and comment below which champion I should do a guide on next. Later, guys.